Hey everybody, so we're going to recap right now on our emergency procedures and go over, we have 4 different emergency procedures. We have lockdowns, lockouts, evacuate procedures, and shelter procedures. This is a poster. It's going to be coming around. I need you to put these by your doors. It's going to be really important. Every room has to have one of these in it. So when you find this in your box, please hang it in your room by your door so that we have that. So there has been some questions about some of these procedures, so I really briefly am going to try and go through and highlight and explain again. We have our lockdowns. In the past, we've called them lockdowns. We have 2 different things, lockdowns and lockouts now. In Orange County, a lockdown now means that there's no movement, that all the doors are locked, everything's locked, and there's no movement within the room. You've turned your lights off, you're maintaining an absolute quiet room, and you're taking attendance. For all of our procedures, you need to be taking attendance so that you know who is with you and who isn't with you. But for a lockdown, this means that we feel like someone is possibly in the building, is on campus, and we need to make sure that everyone is safe, and so we are doing a lockdown. We're putting you where there's no movement, no one should be able to see you or your students. Absolute silence. Now, the new thing this year is the lockout. A lockout means that we need to secure our perimeters. If you're outside, you need to come inside. You need to go to your room. We're going to lock our doors, but then you can continue teaching as normal. It's business as usual once you get into the classroom, but you're not going out. That means we're not going to lunch. We're not going to specials because you have to stay in your rooms. But yes, you can continue to teach. You still need to take attendance to make sure you know who's there and who isn't, but it is business as usual, and you can continue with your lessons. We have evacuate procedures. These are the procedures for if we have fires, we're doing a fire drill, things like that, and we have to evacuate the room. Anytime that happens, you need to take with you your emergency folder. Everyone should have that emergency folder. Over the summer, we brought them all back to the office and we changed them out. So there's new information in there. And so if you haven't opened yours up, you need to open it up. You need to look at all the information that's in there so you familiarize yourself with it. In the past, we've had these cards that we swoosh out into the hallways when we're, doing lockdowns and whatnot. We're not doing that anymore. I need you to look at those things. We're not swooshing those out into the hallways any longer. That is old policy. New policy, we're not doing that. But you need to have a list of your students' names and their contacts with phone numbers in case, we evacuate out. I was at a school. We had a flood on the 2nd floor, and the whole building was evacuated, and there was half of the building we were not allowed to go back into our rooms, so we needed to have our information. So you need to make sure that you have that information in there, that information is updated at all times. If you get a new student, make sure that you update that information. So with evacuations, you're going to want to bring your phone with you in case, your cell phone, grab it so that you have some other communication. But otherwise, you can leave your stuff behind, okay? The students can leave their backpacks there. We're not worried about that. We need to know where our evacuation location site is. You need to go there. You need to be counting your students as you go out. Make sure that you have them. Once you reach your location, you need to count your students again. You always need to make sure that you're keeping a count. But just remember, anytime you're outside and you're coming in, you should be counting your students coming in from recess, those kinds of things, because you don't want to leave a student behind. You need to be counting because that's your responsibility. We know that sometimes students will continue to play at recess. Your responsibility, count your kids, make sure you have everybody when you come in. So that just kind of continues. You're counting your students, making sure that you have them. If you are missing a student, if you have extra students, injured students, there are cards to notify that once you get to your location site that you have someone that's missing or that you're all there. So that's how the cards are being used now. So, but that's going to be information if you're missing kids at any point. and we're in one of these, emergency procedures, then you're going to contact the front office to let us know. And then there's also what's called shelter procedures. These are when we have to get ready for bad weather, for tornadoes, something like that. So that's, are those ducking covers in the hallways, those kinds of things. And knowing those procedures as to what we need to do. So we're always taking attendance for that and making sure that we have the safety of our students at all times. So if you have any questions about any of that, let me know and I will try and answer all your questions. If you are looking around and you don't think you have your emergency folder, please contact me. I sent out an email. A couple of you have already contacted me. I think all of you do have that information, but if for some reason you don't and you don't have that folder, please let me know and I'll make sure you get one. So always we want to make sure that all of our kids are safe, and our students' safety and your safety is our top priority. So thanks so much and have a great time, great day.